Hello everyone, welcome again to another series of video from Electronics Eternity. This time around we will be looking at Wi-Fi events. For this particular tutorial I am using NodeMCU 32. So this is the second video for our NodeMCU 32 series. If you haven't checked out the first part, which covers the basics, I suggest you do so. But if you are very familiar with the basics, then you can just skip that and we can directly go into the part 2 of this video, which is on events. Okay, so uh, before anything I just want to stress that these codes are actually for the most parts are readily available in Wi-Fi library. However, I did some or even in in certain websites which does tutorial on ESP32. Okay, however, I have definitely done some things differently so that things actually work when I try that. For most of the programs that you could find in the library or even in the websites, for some reason it does not work right away when you upload it into your code. So it needs a bit of editing and checking here and there to make it work. So this is what I have done. Originally this is what that has been taken in library or in some websites, but on top of that I've made some edit to it to make this thing functional. All right, so uh, let's talk about events right before anything. So the reason why I'm particularly doing a video on events is because I just find events are so useful. It makes your program a lot more simpler, and it also there's no need to how to say, to create loops or to constantly check for a particular event. For example, if your Wi-Fi got connected or disconnected, you don't have to complicate your program by writing long tedious codes. You could simply use events, and events will be effective all throughout, right? So if you put it in loop, it's going to be effective all throughout. You just have to declare it once and it will be functional all throughout your code. So whenever or at a given point of time a particular event such as Wi-Fi being disconnected is detected by the program, you can trigger certain responses which is up to your customization. All right, so to me I find this very useful, which is why I wanted to do a particular video on this. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first two lines is about declaring library, which is SPI and Wi-Fi library. Next are the Wi-Fi connection and also the password. Okay, so over here we have three void functions that we have created. One is Wi-Fi station connected, another one is Wi-Fi.ip, another one is Wi-Fi station disconnected. So for the connected, it would just say connected to AP successfully. Alright, so this is a very simple response. If you need it to light up an LED, a green color LED, to show everything is working fine, you can do so. But for the sake of this tutorial, I've kept things very simple. But I don't want you to limit your thinking to this. You can definitely add further more complex response, such as like writing a digital high or low or triggering a certain analog responses, right? Okay, so you can pretty much do anything in the response. All right, and for the next part is Wi-Fi.ip. So basically it prints that Wi-Fi is connected and followed by the IP address. Alright, and for the third function, it's going to tell us the Wi-Fi got disconnected and these are the reasons, and it would try to attempt, right? So Wi-Fi disconnected is a lot more complex in comparison to these three functions. It's not actually a lot more complex, it's just slightly more complex, because instead of just printing some responses, it is just saying, once the connection is disconnected, you should try to reconnect, attempt to connect again. That is all about these three functions. Next is void setup. I only want this to run once, right? So I don't want it to repeat, but of course you can always put things in void loop and make sure it runs in a loop, right? So for the sake of this tutorial, I've kept it only in void setup because I just want it to run once and I only want to see the responses once. Alright, so over here we are initiating serial communication at 115200 baud rate. If it doesn't initiate, then wait until it happens, in which most of the time it would happen seamlessly. So, and next is we are declaring the event. So if you could notice, I have placed a command here to say events need to be declared first, right? Before an actual event happens where a Wi-Fi is being connected or Wi-Fi is being disconnected or whatever, you need to first declare the event, right? Declare the event so that the actual event can be detected by your program. If you do it the other way around, it's not going to work no matter how many thousand times you run it, right? So that's one important thing that you need to know. It's important to declare the event before the actual event itself, so that the very first instance of a particular event goes detected. Okay, so next is Wi-Fi mode to set to a Wi-Fi station, and then we initiate the Wi-Fi begin so that it connects to this connection over here. After 5 seconds, we're going to disconnect the same connection and delay for 2000 milliseconds. Alright, so it is a simple code that I have written, but I think it would serve the purpose, which is to give us a basic understanding about Wi-Fi events. Alright, so I have uploaded this into my code. Alright, you know what, let me just upload this once again. So as usual, wait for the word connecting and then hit the boot button in your NodeMCU 32. Okay, so now you release it. It is writing into our NodeMCU. Let's wait for a bit. Okay, it has done uploading, so let's look into the serial monitor. Okay, I'm going to clear output and then hit the enable button so that it resets. Okay, it has been resetted. Let's see. Disconnected from Wi-Fi access point, Wi-Fi lost connection, trying to reconnect. Let's see if it should reconnect. Okay, again it's being disconnected, so maybe there's a problem with my Wi-Fi connection. Let me enable. Okay, now it is connected to AP successfully, and the Wi-Fi connected IP address is 172.20 and so on. So let me clear this output because it's a bit tedious and confusing. So I'm going to hit the reset button one more time. So now you could see the very first event is connected to AP successfully, and okay, where is it? Connected to AP successfully. Next is Wi-Fi connected, IP address So Wi-Fi connected IP address, and this is the local IP. So, and for the third part, this is Wi-Fi disconnect. So it will disconnect, and the reason is 8. I'm not really sure what is 8 stands for. Trying to reconnect and then connect it to AP successfully, it throws the same IP again, right? Every time it connects, it throws the IP again. Okay, so with that, we have actually completed this tutorial on events. Okay, I know it's pretty basic and straightforward, but hopefully you get the idea and you could implement it in your project for more complex and a useful purpose. All right, so I hope you learned something from the video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below.